What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Leo King app. I am your host, astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, and this is your weekend forecast for what's going on for July the 30th through the 31st of 2016. And this is a lot to go on. I'm going to be very honest with everybody. A lot is happening in the astrology to pay attention to. This is definitely a very, very powerful closing energy. And we're going to, of course, look at the chart on my weekend report. I look much more into the chart. This is much more of an interactive horoscope that I like to do. And I kind of like to do, a message with this all. My main message for you before we look into the chart this weekend is allow the last 4 years to end. The frustrations, the fears, the things that have scared you, the things that have made you frustrated, the things that have made you angry, upset, the things that have made you feel like maybe you haven't been able to connect fully to, whether that's relationships, job aspects, whatever it is that has frustrated you that felt like you can't connect, release it all this weekend. Come back to core, come back to happiness, come back to your true, authentic self. Now, the reason why I'm saying coming back to your true authentic self is I'm going to show you on how the planets this weekend really align up with getting back to your true and authentic self, because there's definitely a lot that's going to be happening. There's definitely a lot that's shifting right now in the universe, and I think that's going to be so important to really pay attention to all that stuff that's happening with the planets coming back to their original positions, the planets coming to a closure per se this weekend, and wrapping up a 4-year transit. We're going to talk about how intense that is. And I'm going to want to make sure that I pull up the chart for all that for you guys as well. So I accidentally lost the chart there for a second. So just give me 1 sec. We do this live. I think it's better to do it live just because it's much more real. It's much more authentic. I like to do my astrology on the fly. I like to do it real. I feel like the readings come through. I feel like the channeling comes through. And I feel like the message is delivered that much better. So we are actually going to change this to that. Okay. And let's make a transition here. All right. So when you look at the chart, this is a lot going on. Number one, the reason why is there is so much to look at here. Number one, let's look at the moon. The moon is finishing up in Gemini, where it's really pondered a lot of things, especially with the combination of Uranus that has gone retrograde on Friday. This has been us pondering our future, questioning our future, looking at our future very intensely. The excitement of the future as well. Sun's still in Leo. It's in its home sign. On Saturday, see that? The moon's at 28. It will go into Cancer. The moon will be in its home sign. Mercury moves into Virgo this weekend. It will be in its home sign. Mars finishing up in Scorpio, and this is the big boy that we're going to talk about of all that's happening, finishing up in its own sign. Neptune in its own sign. This is a big deal. The reason why I'm putting this video out for free on YouTube is because I want people to know this is what you get on the app, especially on the weekends. But this weekend is no joke. Let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets in their home signs. Now, the sun and the moon being the illuminaries makes it even more powerful. But what this means is you are getting back to your core this weekend. You are getting back to your home position emotionally, because if you see Mars here at 28 degrees, it is finishing up on Saturday and Sunday at the edge of Scorpio. This is exactly where we were in the last week of July, in the first week of August last year with Saturn. See how Saturn's at 9 degrees right here? So this is important because this is Mars, which went retrograde right and covered all this spot that Saturn was. This is the wrap up of decades of freedom from, of course, Saturn not going to be in Scorpio, but Mars not going to come back in Scorpio and do any retrogrades for a while and do any shadow work, we call it, by the retrograde. So the two malefic planets are done with Scorpio. In true spiritual esoteric sense. So this means we are coming back to not having that frustration or that feeling of connection. This is also the fixed signs kind of finally coming back online. Our wants, our desires, our passions, our sensitivities with the things that we desire in our life, the things that we sensually want to touch, the things that we want to create, our love, our romantic life, and more importantly, our connection to others, our connection to the world, our spark of life. But so Saturday, I think, is all about getting back to core, because now it won't happen later Saturday. I have the chart running from noon on Los Angeles, and the moon's still in Gemini. It won't be until about 2 to 3 p.m. until the moon will come into Cancer. That'll be 6 p.m. Eastern. But you'll notice Saturday this kind of edge of coming back online and the excitement of the future. Uranus just retrograded. There's this whole future aspect that's really coming up. But what really is kind of interesting is Mercury. Mercury is now home, and this means we're looking at our reality very passionately, especially because we're in Leo and especially because Uranus has retrograded. We are ready to look into the future. We are ready to look at our reality. We are ready to make major changes. We are ready to get through the last 4 years that we have been through. Since October of 2012 to now, there has been this really deep, can I make it through? Can I get through? Can I get through the darkness? But you know what it is? It's been transformational. The positive has been very powerful, been very, very transformational. I want to make this extremely clear. This is the most powerful weekend because even though, yes, you can look at it as it was a very hard 4 years, but you can also look at it as, holy cow, you have transformed and changed and been turned into a butterfly in a way that you have never thought you could before. And yes, there are marks, there are scars that are left from it, but boy, you have ascended, you have grown, and you have really become much more powerful, much more ability, the ability now to really transform and change and to become that much stronger, become that much more courageous, to become that much more better of handling life, handling your inner truth, looking deep inside your soul in ways that you have never done before. So I just wanted to make that one really clear, everyone. You know what I mean? Now, Sunday. Look at that. Moon and Cancer at home. Still all these positions all in their home sign. But Sunday's kind of more intense. The reason why, of course, Mars at the 29th degree, the most extreme degree for Mars. But more important than that, it is the last degree of Scorpio, which is extreme. It's very passionate. It's very intense. It's very edgy. And we're finishing that shadow. So Sunday is going to have a lot of wrap up. The moon will also oppose Pluto, which Pluto rules Scorpio. And to have the fact that Mars is at home there is going to make the Mars transit that much more powerful of endings, that much more powerful of transformation, that much more powerful of really making change. Now, the Uranus aspect is unpredictable. I think that it's like a whole new reality is being built. Mercury's officially now at 1 degree, really moved into and off the cusp of Virgo, really intense about changing our reality, really making new changes, really looking at life in a different way. And Venus is now trining Uranus. This means relationship aspects, projects, things in our life are coming to an extreme future, radical, revolutionary, ready to move forward, ready to be excited, ready to see things in ways you never did before. I think that we are getting prepared for this new moon more than ever, as the new moon is on Tuesday, and we have this balsamic moon happening. So see how the moon's going to go dark for the next 2 days as it goes balsamic. This is a very, very important time for you to, at the same time that Mars is finishing, it's an important time to let go, release all the things that are happening, be excited for your future. And with all these planets in the home sign, I mean, it really makes it that much more strong. It really makes it that much more powerful. It makes it that much more getting you back to your core. Now, I recommend, if you have the time this weekend or Monday during this balsamic phase, remember Monday, the moon's going to be really balsamic-y. And so that means it's going to be really dark. It's going to be really about letting go and the final purge. So, this is the weekend of just like really letting the 4 years and facing the 4 years and facing the stuff and really letting it out and really letting it go. But even deeper than that, I want you to take a look at the webinar I did this on this about August and how intense August is going to be and the setup of where this is all going, where this new adventure is going. Because if we go back to the chart, I mean, think about this. Like, look at this. Mars is about to enter into Sagittarius where Saturn is, and this is really where the story is now. Mars is done with Scorpio. Saturn is done with Scorpio for a long time. We are really moving into a whole new shadow zone, a retrograde zone. And Mars has to finish up all this Sagittarius stuff. So does Saturn. Saturn is also getting ready to come direct in a couple weeks. So this is all about a whole new train moving in our life in the next 2 weeks. And there's a lot of excitement with a new moon happening in 2 weeks. When Saturn comes direct, we're getting ready for a full moon. And this is going to be this is going to be a lunar eclipse. It's not going to be an exact one, but it's going to be a pre-numeral one, which is extreme. So we are stepping into eclipse season, folks, the second that this new moon happens on Tuesday. So the whole worlds are shifting, everybody, into the most radical and extreme. And I would say in the last 4 years, holy cow, I haven't felt like this in 4 freaking years. Finally happening. And that's why I'm putting this horoscope out for free. That's from my app that I usually give only the app people on the weekends. They've been getting the weekend reports like this forever. This is how I do it. This is what you're missing on the app. This is what you're missing if you didn't get the webinar for August. I'm putting it out there to my YouTube people, though, because I like to give when the good stuff is for free. I give the best stuff for free. But I do that because I feel like it's all about giving. And I feel that I can get a return back if you really want to get on the app. If you really want to get, the webinar, you can see by giving the best out what you'll get. That webinar, though, is pretty good. I'll be honest. It's pretty intense. Looking into the future of August and getting ready for September, which I think September is going to be the most exciting month of the year. Like literally. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So final message, remember, don't let yourself get freaked out about thinking that the whole world's going to collapse, that it's all going to end, or being fearful of things, or thinking that darkness is going to happen. It is not. You are breaking through. You are making it happen. You are going into a whole new direction. Be excited. Be a willing participant to this magical, transformational event, because Scorpio at the end, the last degree, is when the phoenix rises. That, in my opinion, that's how I always have looked at Scorpio. That is how I have always looked at the last degree. And with Mars there, it is the knight being knighted, the Holy Grail. It's us finding the Holy Grail this weekend, especially Monday. Tuesday, it is the cup of life moving into forward. That's kind of what Sagittarius is. It's kind of the more cup of life, the more kind of transformational, moving into a place actually, and finding where that adventure is going. Be prepared, folks. The adventure is coming up soon, and you'll notice when you're looking at every aspect that is going down this weekend, it is ending major work you have been doing for 4 years. Exactly 3 years and 10 months, but I'm rounding it up to 4 years. Thank you so much for all your support. I truly appreciate it. Make sure that you get on the app, theleokingapp.com, or you can get on the iPhone or Android store. And if you want to purchase the webinar, if you're on the iPhone app, you can get that in the store in the iPhone app, or go to inclusiveastrology.com and get the webinar as well. Also, my awesome September 9th through 11th Hope in the Desert conference. People are starting to buy tickets. We're going to have a lot of people there. I'm super excited. Please, if you can make it out, leokingevents.com. Thanks so much for all the support. I hope you enjoyed this special report coming into this weekend, and I will see you on the next weekend report or the next horoscope for Monday if you're on the app. I mean, get on the app. That's the best thing I could say is get on the app. Thanks so much. I'll see you later.